So plays like this are exactly why I feel like if Anthony Edwards really made a habit to get downhill, get below the 3-point line, but also look for his teammates, not do it just to be a scorer, he could easily average like 8 assists, bro. 8 to 10 assists easily. So it's like obviously people have been talking about him getting downhill, getting to the mid range. Like I said, I don't like shots from this area of the mid range. I would just much rather see him down here in this area. As he drives, look at Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is stepping in to set this flare screen for Mike Conley, right? So right now, if Anthony Edwards just makes this pass, bro, wide open shot right here. Wide open shot, right? Not to mention, now he's in the air now. This defender is completely asleep. He is wide open. You know what I'm saying? If Anthony Edwards was wired to, all right, I'm getting downhill, I'm going to create for my teammates. But right now, he's really a scorer, and some people are just wired that way. He's a scorer. But if he were to just focus, because there's so many times where he gets downhill, he just draws so much attention from the defense, bro. Look at everybody on defense and see where they're facing. Nobody is looking at the person they're guarding. They're all looking at Anthony Edwards because he's that good. That's the attention that he demands on the court. I just feel like he has to use that to not only his advantage, but the team's advantage because they do need somebody to really create for others. And Anthony Edwards is the one to do it. So it's a shot here, but instead we take a long 2-pointer. Here's another example of what I mean when I talk about him getting in the paint and just having to look for his teammates, right? So when he comes off this handoff right here, little pitch and get with Julius Randle, good ball screen. He sees there in the drop, so he's going to attack downhill and see what he has, right? Now, when he gets to this point and he can't get all the way around the defense, and he's about to go into a shot for himself, just look at Julius Randle, right? Pay attention to Julius Randle this whole time. Anthony Edwards, again, has to just understand the type of attention that he draws. Julius Randle is going to be open for this entire time. He could easily make this pass right here to Julius Randle for a shot, but instead, mid-range shot over 2 people. And I'm not surprised he missed. That's a tough shot to make. But again, this is one of those situations where it's like people want him to get downhill, stop shooting so many threes, shoot mid-range. But when he gets downhill, he has to just understand the power that he has and what he can do for the team, So this play here, this is an example of what I mean when I say when he gets in the paint and he attacks downhill, he can create shots for other people so easily. So you see here when he drives, he's trying to get that contact, that shoulder bump. The defense does a good job of backing up, so he just keeps attacking, keeps going until he draws another defender. He couldn't get his own shot off clean. And that's the thing. He's kind of going up, seeing that he can't get his shot off, and now he's looking to pass, which is good to know where your options are. But at the same time, he just kind of has to recognize, like, when he gets to this spot right here, he's done his job. He has basically 3 people on him, right? But he can be able to find people like this at all times if he wants to because he's so good at getting downhill. Like, this is one of the plays that Luka makes a lot, but he does it on purpose because he'll go up late and kind of throw it behind his head, and he does that a lot. Well, he knows he's drew this defender, and he has a wide open shooter in the corner. So watch again here when he comes off this screen, and when he has another chance to hit a teammate, right? So when he gets to the ball, he sees this is essentially the same thing that would happen if he were to come off a ball screen, right? So he gets here, the defense is trailing, he catches the ball. This is what it looks like when you're playing against a drop, right? So he's getting downhill, and in my opinion, the best thing to do right now is just hit Rudy right here, let him either finish or kick to one of the teammates. But Anthony Edwards, instead, he keeps it, tries to get the contact here, tries to get a step back. This is very Shai Gilgeous-like. Defense does a good job of getting their hand on the ball. He loses it, right? But, he's still able to get it back and take a tough step back fade and make that. But this is just another example of what I mean. Like, he has to be more of a playmaker, everybody, there's no need. You don't have to take a bunch of tough mid-range shots to prove to people that you're a scorer or you're an alpha. Like it's very rare for someone to be in a position where the team needs you to play like Kobe or take contested mid-range shots like Kobe. Not very many people are good at that. Pretty much only Kobe was good at that. Right? So it's like when you get in here, I wish he had much more of just a playmaker mentality, right? Because even here, you know, most people wouldn't be tall enough to do what I'm saying, but he's big enough and athletic enough to not only would he have been able to hit Rudy, but if Mike Conley, I wish he shifted over, he could make that skip pass to Julius Randle if he were to fill over here. Right? But like I said, it could seem like it's nitpicking, but this is just the real next step they has to take. To me, it's not necessarily him scoring from the mid range. That was the next step. Like he just has to be a playmaker because that's what the team needs when he has the ball in his hands. Hit Rudy right here, especially in the preseason, and let Rudy figure out where he made a mistake as opposed to him having to take on two players right here. Now Anthony Edwards, he ends up missing the shot, but this is a play that you see more and more in today's game where you split the double team, not with the dribble, but with a low pickup, right? And I said the double team. You split the ball screen with the low pickup, right? This is something that people did not used to do 10 years ago, right? Most people in this situation, you tried to be like D Wade, try to get low, do a crossover, and explode through that gap right there. But Anthony Edwards and a lot of people have the footwork understanding that 2 steps from the 3-point line will get you right here, which is a prime scoring area. So when he comes off, is 1 pound dribble, and he's taking his 2 steps. Low pickup up underneath the defense. Nobody on defense is hedging or showing and getting super low. Nobody gets low like that. That's not natural defensive movement. So this is open a lot. So when he takes his 2 steps, he gets a floater right here in the middle of the paint. Now he ends up missing, but it's just something that a lot more people have to practice, and it's actually a really good move, a really smart move because it's very hard to be ready for. So that's a great move and something that if you can add it to your game, add it. Now this play here, he just does a great job of attacking the switch. So he comes off this ball screen, they switch, and he's doing basically a hezzy tween, right? So he's shifting the defense just a little bit with that tween, and then he's gone. Just off this one dribble, his shoulder is basically past the defense off one dribble. And at this point, his hips are completely open, and he's beat, right? So now when Anthony Edwards gets to the basket, at this point, through his peripheral, he should be able to see the help defense, which I'm sure he does. Now he's going up strong. The defense is going to think he's finishing right here. So that's where they jump. Now when he goes up, like I said, he saw the defense. As he goes up, instead of going up strong side, he's using his left hand to reach out and get to the other side of the backboard where nobody is. And that's just a tough finish. So Anthony Edwards did make a 3 this game, and it was a nice step back, right? That's something he's always going to be able to do. So watch me. He gets that tween. He gets that float dribble, right? So you see how the defense is backing up with him. Most people in this situation, this is a hezzy coming, right? A lot of people would use this float dribble right here. And at this moment, hezzy and go. And that's kind of why the step back works. He takes a hard punch dribble like he was about to attack. That gets the defense to back up, look at his feet, and create just enough space for him to go straight up and straight down into a shot, right? Just a little float, punch, a little side step right there. All because of the float dribble. As soon as he gets to attack and he's on his heels, the defense is on their heels from jump. So pretty much whatever he wants to do right now has a better chance of working because the defense is on his heels. So he wants that side step, gets it. So one thing about mid-range shots, a lot of people have been on Anthony Edwards to try to get a mid-range shot. I don't know I don't know. Like, to me, this type of shot right here, the step back long 2, even though he makes the shot, I don't know if shooting that shot is necessarily better than him shooting a step back 3-pointer right here or a side step, right? My assumption is that this shot right here is probably around the same percentage as if he did it from right here. That would be my guess. He's a really good 3-point shooter. So it's like, I know there's a emphasis on him to not settle for threes. I kind of feel like, and he made the shot, so it's not to nitpick. If he is gonna play in the mid range, I just would love to see him in this area as opposed to this area. But it is a good shot. It's a tough shot. Those are the type of shots though, like when you look forward, like to me, this is like how you would see Kobe take a lot of jumpers from right here. Like, bro, why didn't you just take a three? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Good shot. I just hope these aren't the type of mid ranges that he's going to be taking. Now, in this play, we do finally get to see him get into the post. We get to see a post up play, right? On the catch here, he's catching with his back to the basket. He knows he's going to post up, right? So he's taking his time. One dribble. He's finding the defense. He's moving his feet. Then he's doing this punch into a step back, right? One dribble into a step back. Good punch, step back. The defense is there, but he does a good job of showing the ball, getting the defense in the air, and then stepping through. He just blows a layup. But that's a good move, right? I did have a question, though, to see if he traveled or not, right? Because he's stepping back, right? To me, he's landing left, right. So his left foot should be his pivot. But when he pump fakes, he steps through with the left. Now, I think he got away with one. But again, this is the NBA, right? So he step back, left, right, pump fake. He should have to, and he does step with his right again. You see that? So even after the pump fake, he steps with his right, then he steps with his left. That's definitely a travel. But again, you're a superstar. You get to do things. Blows a layup. Julius Randle right there. Got him.